This video contains spoilers. Watch the fucking show.
What's going on, everyone? And I am here today to respond to a video that was sent to me. Apparently, the Trash Taste Boys, who I'm a big fan of, posted a video about Overlord that has a really sus title. And the title of the video is called The Real Reason Why Nobody Cares About Overlord Anymore. Yeah, the title of the video is a bit alarming to me because I beg to differ. If you just see my view counts on my Season 4 Overlord stuff, you can tell that a lot of people care about Overlord. So I thought it'd be fun to watch this video and give my 2 cents on what they say, as an Overlord content creator. Also, it's kind of shocking to hear the Trash Taste guys actually talk about anime for the first time in a while. I forgot that they do anime stuff. And I get to watch my apparent twin, Schaargocks, so this will be fun. There was also a comment in one of the videos I posted a long time ago that said, I look like all 3 of the Trash Taste guys merge into one person. So yeah, I'm interested in watching this video. I want to hear what they're talking about, and I want to hear how they rationalize this opinion. So that being said, let's get into the video.
What's going on with ReZero? When is there another season coming? What's up with that?
I don't know.
It should take us so long.
I mean, Nuggetski's still writing it.
How many REM figures do we have to move before they? Surely the ReZero money pool.
Okay, yeah, actually, you know what? That brings up a good point. First of all, what is going on with ReZero? Because I keep hearing mixed news about Season 3. I don't even know if that's real or not. Second of all, what is up with the Rem? I understand Rem's a really popular character in the show, and for good reason, because Rem's awesome. I know there's like the Rem and Amelia camps, so like I don't want to start a war or anything like that. Yeah, for real, like isn't there like a crap load of the ReZero source material like done already? Like they're not even close to caught up in out of their Season 2, so I honestly don't know what's going on with that.
Well, that's true, but wait, I thought there was already.
No, there's already enough material.
Yeah, I thought there was.
No, there is.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
What's the whole? Only feels like this happens in Japan, where there could be like an insane amount of demand for something, and they just don't do it.
Yeah.
The first thing that came to mind when he said that was The Promised Neverland, and how popular Season 1 of The Promised Neverland, how critically acclaimed Season 1 was. And then Season 2, they just threw it in the garbage can. Like they just freaking wiped their ass with it and threw it away. Like, honestly, that makes 0 sense to me whatsoever. Like, I don't know what was going on at the production studio for Promised Neverland Season 2, but like they were just like, yep, well, I guess we're done with this. Like, who cares? But in regards to that, yeah, like how many anime can we think of like just that have super popular first season and they just decided not to do it? It's just like I don't really get that. It seems like because like in America, they would definitely milk that shit until it was dry.
Dude, if we had a ReZero in America, dude, we would have 19 spin-offs.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly my point.
Subaru got circumcised.
I'm just praying.
Fucking story arc.
Sometimes Japan go full that fucking direction.
Yeah.
Though. Like I don't.
But it's always the shows that like weren't really that popular. Right? Like, it's always the shows where you're like, why?
Yeah.
It's like Spice and Wolf fans like first time.
Oh, dude. Like, Spice and Wolf. Spice and Wolf is a great example of an amazing anime. Okay, I don't know if any of you guys, if you guys haven't seen Spice and Wolf, watch Spice and Wolf. That is like one of the best anime ever, in my opinion. I love that anime. But for real, like a lot of bad shows get 2 cores or 2 seasons. A prime example of one, in my opinion, is the Asterix War. The Asterix War got 24 episodes, and there's a really similar anime called The Chivalry of a Failed Knight. The Chivalry of a Failed Knight is so much better than the Asterix War, but that one only got 1 core, and the Asterix War got 2. I really don't get where that came from. I don't understand. I don't.
Seasons of Data Live is there now, and I'm like,
Data Live.
Who's still watching that show? Someone is joking.
Like,
Someone is watching that fucking show.
Isn't like 4 seasons of that crap?
Whoever the fuck these people are who are making idol shows, can someone get them over to like the good shows? Because dude, those dudes know how to get shows made. Like straight up, they get shows made.
True,
no,
man.
We like to clown on idol fans and everything, right? They spend their fucking money, okay?
I'm sorry, have we not spent our money on ReZero shit? There's a REM, every second in Japan, a REM figure is sold, if not 10.
Okay, complaining
That's
about
true,
like,
it sells.
CG in anime,
The idol
and
stuff
like
sells.
Chainsaw Man. Look,
Actually, hold up. Is ReZero more is ReZero like super popular in Japan? I actually don't know. Like, I know it's pretty popular, like overall. Like, I do know it's a very well-known anime. Is it like super popular in Japan or something? Like, am I missing something? I don't really know what the situation is about ReZero in Japan.
They empty their wallets and their savings account for that shit.
Yeah, that's true. The idols.
I honestly do. I'm gonna make a prediction that they are making more ReZero. It just takes a long fucking time to make anime.
And maybe I'm not.
It does. I mean, I do think it actually does take a while, but then like other anime have disproved that. It seems like they get seasons out like in under a year. They can churn a season out. Like sometimes, I swear.
Every anime studio is just booked up to capacity, over capacity.
I'm gonna be sad if I'm like 40 when ReZero ends or some shit. I'm like, what the fuck? What is this?
One Piece fans.
Like, I actually do you think One Piece actually, like, there's really no reason to end One Piece because it just keeps making tons of money. It's like top 5 manga in Japan for like 20 years. Another thing he said, like, yeah, every anime studio is just booked up because they're just making more and more anime all the time, as opposed to like, even like in my lifetime, 10 years ago, like, the amount of anime we have at our disposal now, the amount of new anime compared to how it was like 10 years ago, insane. It's the huge gulf. There's so many more studios, everything. So yeah, everyone's just booked up. I mean, that does make sense, but it's just like, why are we doing these new IPs when we have really, really successful IPs that we could keep working with, you know?
With ReZero, when I watched the newest season last time, it did take me a minute to be like, all right, yeah, why do I give a shit again? Okay, I'll get back into this. Like, it can be frustrating, and I think that's what I know. Because anime just takes a while, right? Like Overlord, I just.
Okay, here we go. Oh, of course we get an ad. So they're talking about a viewpoint here that I can't really relate to because I finished ReZero like when it was done. Like, so I didn't watch it when it was airing. So like they're talking about like you just lose interest in all the stuff that goes on, which I guess I could understand that for in a sense.
I just haven't watched the new season because I'm like,
it's not worth it.
I know.
I have watched the new season.
Like,
really? Yeah.
You're on thin ice. You're on thin ice.
I loved every season I watched, but the thought of having to remind myself to give a fuck again about everything is like, okay, I can't. Yeah. And I know because Overlord's a lot.
Overlord is a lot.
That's fair.
Very dense in its world and characters.
That's what I liked about it.
Yeah, I mean,
but it just makes it that much harder to get back into it, right? Because you have to remind yourself again about all those little details.
Yeah.
For me, it's like playing a JRPG, quitting halfway through, then wanting to play it again, and getting back to the game. You're like,
I
didn't remember anything.
Impossible.
Yeah, that's really rough.
With Avatar, it was basically like very easy kid story plot line. Whereas stuff like Overlord and ReZero feels like a lot to get back into.
Okay. I see what they're going with this. And now I know there was a decent gap between season 3 and season 4. I think it was a few years. Really, for me, as soon as I heard season 4 was coming out, I just started rewatching a lot of Overlord stuff, and that's when I started getting back into Overlord content on my YouTube channel. I didn't really feel like I was too disconnected because I had spent some time catching myself up. But I guess I can understand what they're saying because Overlord is insanely detailed and, things like that. So, like, just hopping back in if you don't, do any sort of, prep or anything like that can be kind of a large task.
Shows just take way too long to continue. Like, what was the break between the Overlord seasons? Wasn't it 3 years, 2 years?
It's 3 years, 2 years.
Yeah.
3 years is too much,
I think between season 1 and 2... was a couple years. 2 and 3 was not a big gap. And then 3 and 4 was another. You know what? I'm just going to look this up. Okay, so Overlord Season 1 came out in 2015. Season 2 came out in 2018. Wow, it was actually 3 years. I didn't know that. I thought it was shorter than that between 1 and 2. But yeah, Season 3 came out legitimately the same year. It was April 4th, 2018 was when Season 2 ended. And then July 11th, 2018 was when Season 3 started. So it was legitimately a couple months, and then it was 4 years in between 3 and 4. That's a pretty big gap in between season 1 and 2. I can understand, and then season 3 and 4 years. I mean that's quite a long time, I will say.
Attack on Titan,
right
between season 1 and season 2, we had like a fucking 5-6 year break or something like that. It was a long break.
Crazy. It was actually insane.
Everyone thought that by the time season 2 came out, everyone would stop giving a shit about Attack on Titan.
Everyone kind of did though.
Yep,
everyone kind of did.
I did
for a little bit. For a little.
I personally stopped caring about Attack on Titan. It was too long in between 1 and 2. I stopped caring, and then when season 2 came out, I didn't watch it. I didn't end up getting back into Attack on Titan until when season 3 ended. It was like right before season 4 came out was when I watched the rest of it and fell in love with Attack on Titan again. But he's totally right there.
But then you only really start caring when the hype shit starts happening.
Yeah.
Because the problem with something like ReZero Season 2 is that it felt more like a setup season.
For sure.
And like you're like, I don't really care what's going on, and I don't really care to invest myself because there's not really anything hype.
There were a lot of cool moments.
Let's say
in
ReZero
Season
Season 3 does happen. I don't know what happens further on, and there are some fucking banger moments. There are some hype shit happening. You're gonna start like, oh shit, I wanna
apparently,
again, you know, something dense like Overlord. My big problem with Overlord in general right now, after watching Season 4, is that every season I come in with the same thing when I'm like, oh, I really like the world and the characters, and I'm waiting for like I wait for that oh shit moment, because it always feels like it's building towards that oh shit moment, and then it just doesn't deliver the same way I want it to deliver.
12 episodes just isn't enough for stuff like Overlord.
Okay.
I think it's too like the Overlord world is so dense, like you said, that 12 episodes just feels like you got like an itch of an arc. Yeah, it feels like you didn't get anything.
Absolutely.
Just not like 6. What is 12 hours? Is that like 5 hours of content? 4 hours of content?
12 episodes.
Yeah, that's like 4 hours.
It's
of
about
content,
4.5.
Yeah. I get compare that to like 10 hours and
that much.
Isn't that much
for a really big world building show like Overlord? Where they hint at so much stuff, and it's like, man, it's like I can't. Even in Season 3, I was like, wait, who's who again?
Yeah,
and you hinted at this a little bit in Season 1. I'm like, what?
It's
just tough to care.
There's references,
I
right?
want to. I really want to care. I like Overlord. I like the world. It was sick.
What they're saying, like, I completely agree with. I mean, 13 episodes seasons of Overlord are they're just not enough. There's too much stuff. Like I didn't really review Overlord before Season 4, but like even in Season 4, like I said, like they did an entire volume in 3 episodes. Even Volume 14, which was 6 episodes, they still skipped over a lot of stuff. And I feel like that's just a problem with adapting a light novel into an anime, is that you just can't put everything in there. You're going to miss something. Like that's just how it is. Because in the light novels of Overlord, there's just so many. There's pages and pages of just internal dialogue that are just never touched upon in the anime. And there's also a lot of extra scenes and stuff that they just cut out because they just didn't make it. And it really is a shame, because like there's like literally hundreds of pages of the light novel that has been cut out of the anime at this point. And like they're absolutely right. The Volume 14 cut stuff, which is the second half of Season 4, could have been an entire season by itself. Just the amount of detail that went into like the war and everything. And what Giguk was saying about the hype moments, I will admit Season 4's like hype moments. I honestly, the hypest moments of Season 4 are Ainz versus the Warrior King. I thought that was pretty cool. And then PDL versus Pandora's Actor, which was great. And then just the invasion of Riestes as a whole. There's just so much crap going on. I just felt like that was just like crazy moments all over. Even then, with all that stuff, I feel like that it falls short compared to how Season 3's hype moment was, with Ainz using the super tier magic, and you know, taking out like 200,000 people and stuff like that. Like that was such a big moment that like I feel like the moments in Season 4 did fall a little bit short of Season 3, because Season 3 was just freaking awesome. Season 3 is probably my favorite season of Overlord, if I'm being honest.
And it's always felt like it built up towards something.
Yeah.
And then when it just...
You know it's good when there's like multiple channels uploading lore videos about Overlord.
Yeah.
And there's so many of them and they're good. And you're like, whoa, this is actually fucking interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, I actually, like, I feel like that's become a thing. Like, AniNews is basically the Vati Vidya of Overlord stuff, and then you have me, and then you have Schwa. I can't pronounce this channel name. I'll put it on the screen. There's AnimeStats. He came out recently, and he's been doing a lot of Overlord stuff. There are like several of us that do videos like that, like explaining stuff, and like the lore of Overlord is absolutely bananas. And I've said it once, I'll say it again. Like there's so much like story to the world and so much background information. Like you could just get lost in the sauce on the wiki and stuff, and how much information is actually missed in the anime. And That's why I've always said, like, if you like the Overlord anime, buy the light novels and read the light novels, because you're missing out if you only watch the anime. The anime is good, but it's not the complete experience. If you want the complete experience, you have to read the light novels.
Which, like, honestly, sometimes if I just need a recap, I'll just like watch a recap on YouTube.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah, that's normally enough for me, because normally what I find a lot of the times with big open worlds like this is that for like the important story beats, 90% of the information isn't like necessary. It's necessary if you really want to immerse yourself in the world. But for like the core basic story beats of this epic thing is happening, what do I need to know going into this beforehand? You can normally like just read a fucking wiki
I think
to get.
I'll agree with that.
That makes me just think about like Game of Thrones, where it's like, you can have the surface level plot points and enjoy it, or you can really get in the world building and get fucking lost in how good the world is. And
Exactly.
How well it all interacts.
Yeah.
That's
I feel like
what I love about
it's just hard to do that with a lot of anime. 'Cause bro, I'd rather die and lose both my arms than read a visual novel. I'm just not. I'm
Do you
not
mean light novel?
Sorry, light novel.
Both light
Both.
novel.
Actually,
Oh,
both.
you don't like reading. Okay,
I'm not doing it.
I mean, if you don't want to read a light novel, I mean, like, you're kind of stuff. And I like that comparison with Game of Thrones, because Overlord kind of reminds me a little bit of Game of Thrones in the sense of, like, the world is so much bigger than what we focus on in the story. Game of Thrones world is like, there's all these countries and all this history to these countries in places that will never be involved in the main story, because the story is just about Westeros. The same goes for Overlord. There's a lot of countries and stuff like the City-State Alliance, the Dragon Kingdom. There's just a lot of other places in the world of Overlord that are not involved in this. Like, we've basically only really at this point in the anime seen three countries kind of heavily, and that's the Riestis Kingdom by far the most, then the Baharuth Empire, and then the Slain Theocracy. And there's tons of others, and with the upcoming movie we're going to see the Robo Holy Kingdom. Absolutely, I agree, Overlord needs more episodes. Like it rushed a lot of the things, and there's really, unfortunately, not much we can do about that. And I feel like the problem with Overlord specifically in terms of the light novel is that so much information in Overlord is given to you indirectly, and also with all this internal monologue, like, and stuff that you just cannot like put that, it doesn't translate over well to an anime format. I also understand what Giga was saying when he said like the information that's presented a lot of the times in Overlord isn't like strictly necessary for the plot to advance. I've said this before, but like Overlord focuses on these people that in the big scheme of things like really have no impact on the story. Like a prime example of this is Foresight, which is that worker group from season 3. We spend an entire episode and a half like learning about them and like seeing them just like hang out and like get their character and whatever. And especially Arshay, like we get her backstory and like how her family has fallen from grace because of Jerkneve, and then she's trying to get her sisters out of there. Like we established a motivation and a backstory for a character that legitimately has like only 3 episodes and then is killed, so has absolutely no impact on like the world at large of Overlord. But it's just like these mini stories that like it makes the world that we're in feel organic, because there's all these game elements in, like you make it feel like a game, but it's not a game. Is like that's what's so beautiful about Overlord is these are real people really living real lives that have to deal with this monster and all of his minions that have appeared there, and that's like why I love Overlord so much, and like how it differentiates itself from a lot of other isekais that way. And yeah, I mean the anime has cut out so much. It really is almost like the anime is almost an ad for the light novels. I mean, that's how it was for me. I got into the light novels because I wanted to know more about like what I had seen in the anime, and I love seeing stuff from the light novels get animated, like I did in season 4. I had read all the light novels at that point, so I knew what was going to happen, and I liked seeing the stuff come to life in anime format. I mean, they definitely speed ran like the volumes, like especially volumes 10 and 11. Like those are big world building volumes, and they just speed like freaking 7 episodes. Bam, we're through 2 volumes, and it was just like wow. Like they did cut out a lot, but then again, that's where I come in, and people like me come in to fill in the gaps for people that don't want to read the light novels. And like I said, I don't want to do recaps videos, but like I like to build on what's said in the anime, and I also want to promote the light novel. And guys, if my opinion means anything to you, read the light novels. You have to read the light novels. So guys, that's the video. That's my thoughts. I know I kind of got lost in the sauce there, talking about, I just get so passionate about this anime and this world of Overlord. You know, and he was right. Like, you know, like just making, like, I've only made like maybe 10 lore videos, and I could make probably 50 more just talking about like some minor points. Like, there's just so much lore in Overlord. It's an absolutely staggering world. I think it captures the sense of what makes isekai so appealing is the escapist element of it. And by making the world feel real and rich, it kind of enhances that effect. So I understand what they're saying in that it's so thick that to just hop back into it after years and years off is a tall order, and I do understand that. But I don't agree with the fact that, you know, they were saying like, oh, season 4 is not worth it because there's, like, no way. I loved season 4 personally, and you know, I really feel like Overlord is such a cool story and world to get involved in that it's worth the investment. And of course, guys, I'm biased as hell when it comes to this. You know, I'm not saying this is an objective opinion because it's not. This is coming from a massive Overlord fan. So while I do understand their points, I don't necessarily agree with all of them, but that's okay. But what they're saying makes sense. Like the general concept of hopping back into a super heavy story and, you know, with all these characters after years and years off of it is and I totally agree with what he said about like JRPGs, like, because JRPG stories are thick as hell, and like I cannot, if I stop playing a JRPG, I cannot start it again. Like, I have to finish it in one go. So guys, that pretty much sums up my thoughts on this take. You know, I definitely do have a lot to say about this, but I definitely understand their viewpoint though. So I don't necessarily disagree with it. I guess I just can't relate to it because I just don't feel that way when it comes to Overlord, just because I love it so much. What do you guys think about their opinions and my opinions? Leave your own in the comment section below. I want to hear from you guys. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more like it, please don't forget to hit that like button on your way out. And if you're on already, please subscribe to the channel. It'll let you know when I post in the future if you hit that bell icon. With that being said, I want to thank you all for watching to the very end of the video, and I will see you all next time. Bye.